Yo, what up, y'all? It's Big Spank Dog, Basement Click. You already know. Trying to get familiar with y'all. You know what I mean? Want y'all to get familiar with me. I'm gonna start putting a lot of videos up. And one thing I wanted to do with the channel is to keep it broad, very general, not theme oriented. Some people are gonna be like, that's other people would think it's not a good idea. I believe it's a good idea. I don't want to be boxed in. So with that being said, we're gonna be talking about Charlie Rock LD. Rest in peace. Alright. I was born in 76. When I was 5 years old, it was 1981. So you already know hip hop. If you know hip hop math, I'm in the mix. So like around the time FloJo's coming out, like I'm really into hip hop. So I'm not gonna really talk about people's characters because this is hearsay. Like Charlie Rock says, he speaks on hearsay because you're gonna hear you hear him, may rest in peace. You hear him use terminology only certain people to use, and they've went down a certain road. So he talks about hearsay. So to me, this is all hearsay. So I'm not condemning nobody. I'm going off of what I hear. So but at least I'm smart enough to know that just because I heard it, it doesn't mean it's factual. And with that being said, man, he starts it off.
Today's story is crazy. It's called, I'm actually changing the title. I don't like the title. The title is Loyalty Proven 1,000 Times and Repaid with Betrayal.
He's saying that he was super loyal to Fat Joe and he got betrayed at the end of it all. To make his title short. He talks about certain things. He talks about that they knew each other from middle school. Man, there ain't too many people that I ran around with after middle school. Jay McCardle. That's about one of the few names I could talk about that I could say like to this day we stay in touch. That's my brother from another mother. I know his moms, his pops, Nancy, Dave, may he rest in peace. I think he passed. But I'm just saying like that's my brother from another mother. That's the so like if Charlie Rock LD is going to middle school back with Fat Joe and they ran around with each other up until their adult years. I mean, he was gone for 13 years. He hints towards, like Fat Joe. I don't know, like I always say that. I'll say that when I say this because don't take me, for sure on this. He makes it sound like Joe was supposed to be his co-D in the first case where he caught 13 years. But I don't know about that. Maybe I'm catching it wrong because he says he don't want to. He said I'm gonna go to my grave with that, but he's definitely sounds like he's hinting towards Joe was supposed to be his co-D on the first case. So, but and like I said, I'm not certain about none of this shit. This is hearsay, and I'm not even sure that I got that right. But that's how it came across in my head. Now, he goes on to talk about. There's a couple of things I'm gonna hit on. We don't got forever. I'm not the guy that's gonna make 100-hour video. So Big Spank Dog, Basement Click. Like, subscribe, share, comment. I know I'm a little late with it. I'm a newbie at this. I'm just freestyling, you know what I'm saying? So, but at one point in another video, he talks about standing up for Remy Ma against Mike Tyson. That's a special kind of standing up. You know what I'm saying? Like, not everybody's gonna have the balls to tell Mike, that's my sis. I'm ready to take it wherever it gotta go to defend her. This is a story he told. If it's true, that's gangster. That's what you're supposed to do. If you really care about her, that's not blood. That's water. That's going out even more. Because a sister, that's your blood. You're not gonna let nobody do nothing. Your wife, that's your wife. We're talking about a friend, a female friend, and you're a man. It's not that it matters. It does matter in a sense because when you're a male and you're in a relationship, you tend to mess with males. Out of respect for your lady, you're not gonna be running around with a whole bunch of women. But he literally stood up for a lady he labeled his sister. That's not really his sister, and stood up for her against Mike. And Mike is scary, to scary niggas. So, but, yeah, and then he talks about when he comes home, he talks about the, I'm not, like I said, no names, and I try to keep it general too, and I'm not talking about the channel, I'm talking about, like, even when I speak, because, like, I don't know certain things for sure, so you don't want to, there's people doing time for things they didn't do, so I'm not, acting like I know for sure, but he said he gave him only $1,000 when he came home. $1,000. Now, he said that they was right hand mans since they were in middle school, or super tight, because I had dudes that wasn't my right hand man that I loved just like that too. They was in there, like, in the circle. So even though they might not been like freaking frack the dude I'm with all the time, I still consider them a loved one. So even if he was a loved one, if my loved one goes away for 13 years and comes home, and he's held me down before, he was saying in multiple ways, and in ways that like people would throw you under the bus, and he stood tall. If my man came home and I'm sitting on 10 million, and I'm not even lying, I don't put it out there if I'm not for real. I'll give him at least 100 stacks. That's me. We're talking about his man like that. We're not talking about, like, I'm not gonna be giving 100 racks to every Tom, Dick, and Harry. You know what I'm saying? That's his man like that. 13 years. How many dudes? How many people in your circle are doing 13 years and paid in full? When Mitch comes home, he buys them the Saab right off the bat. You know what I'm saying? I've given people a percentage of my money that's close to me, like they were close, and I was poor, and I gave them more than a rack. How I don't got no money like that, like nowhere near nothing like that. And I know one of my peoples is hurting like that, and I hit them with more than a rack. You should be ashamed of yourself. I'm sorry. Like a rack, if you really loved him like that, then a drink on his birthday, he said Irv Gotti's brother, Chris Gotti. He didn't even know him, I don't think, at this time. Found out it was his birthday and bought him 10 bottles. And they had to be like $200 bottles, $150 bottles. So that's 15, what is that, 15,000? 20,000 on a stranger? And you gave him a rack and that's your brother? Then there's the last thing I'm gonna hit on is, because I don't want to go too hard. I want to learn how to try to, do this correctly. And something's telling me, like, not to try to keep people on hold, at least not yet, for too long, till I start to add certain things or whatever. But the getting poked in the eye thing. He said that he was into it with the G Unit niggas at the time, Joe, and he heard them talking greasy about Fat Joe, and he said that at the time he still loved them, even though he had like an inkling that that he wasn't really, like down for him like he thought he was. And he said that he was riding at that time, and when he heard him and it said, he was like, even though I'm gonna be home in 4 months, I'm not gonna let them get away with what they getting away. Plus, probably if he wouldn't have said something, they know he's with them. They would have probably looked at him like he was food anyway. He probably might have had to, but even if he didn't have to, he was gonna anyway, because that's his style. And according to him, and he said he popped. And he said in the process of popping, he got he got hit up, and they took his eye, and then he lifts up his glasses. He got no eye, like homie from Sons of Anarchy. I'm like, like that's why, don't act like you want it if you don't really want it. Tough guy shit ain't worth it. Because you act like you want it, and it'll be there. And trust me, nobody really wants it. It's bad. You ever seen Sons of Anarchy? The guy who gets his eye stabbed out. I think his name's Otto. It's real life. Whatever the reason was, because they said that, according to Charlie LD, said that Fat Joe tried to say that he heard it was over 3 bundles. Whether it was over 3 bundles or over the 50 Cent beef, whatever, his eye ain't there. So, you act tough, don't, it ain't worth it. You know what I'm saying? I'm here right now. I've been through a lot of stuff. It ain't that party, ain't that type of party. I ain't acting like I want the shits. I'm with the shits. I want the smoke. None of that. You know what I'm saying? And that's how most people should be, man. We should try to, be positive and build. I'm gonna let y'all go at that, man. Rest in peace, Charlie Rock LD. I don't judge no man. I don't know what's going on with Joe. There's things alleged. I hope they ain't true. If they are, every man has issues with himself. I'm not perfect, you know what I'm saying? I try to be as good as I could be, and I'm gonna leave it at that, Rest in peace, Charlie LD, man. Word.